Enums in C are surprisingly powerful tools if you know how to use them correctly. An enum is a new type that we're declaring that specifies a discrete list of ordered values. For example, we can create an enum named direction that contains north, east, south, and west, or one named weekday that contains the days of the week. Let's play with these to see some of the magic that you can do with enums. In this simple example, I've declared an enum named weekday that has a value for each day in the week. With that, I can declare variables to be of that type. Here, I'm declaring a variable named day, whose type is enum weekday. Once I've done that, I can give it values in the list of that enum. So here, I made day have the value Thursday. To help us explore, I have similarly declared a variable named other day and given it the value Monday. Let's put a breakpoint right after those assignment statements and run this in the debugger. You can see here, the debugger is nice enough to show us that the values using the enum declaration. We see Monday and Thursday. But what values do they really have? This print statement is going to interpret their values as decimal numbers so we can see what they're really holding. Let the program run to completion, and you can see that day, which held Thursday, is 4, and other day, which held Monday, is 1. Well, that's because C is really storing enums as ints, and their values come from the order in their declaration. So Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, and so on. The nice thing about those values is that we can do math on them. Let's add 1 to other day and watch what happens in the debugger. As I step over that addition, you can see it moved other day from Monday to Tuesday. That's pretty perfect. Wait, what happens if we add past Saturday? Let's try. Let's set day to Saturday and see what happens when we increment it. Watch in the debugger. No complaint from the machine. The debugger just stops interpreting it with the enum values. Not my favorite. For this example, Sunday follows Saturday just as much as Saturday follows Friday, so we'd really like the values to wrap around. If I add 1 to Saturday, I'd like it to get the value Sunday. Since Sunday is 0, I could make that happen by modding by 7. Saturday is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 mod 7 is 0. That's Sunday. Yeah, the number of days a week is unlikely to change, but normally we'd want to calculate the number of values from the enum, so that if somebody added or deleted values, we wouldn't need to fix that hard-coded 7. Unfortunately, C does not give us a way to ask an enum how many values it has, so we have to be a little sneaky. The trick is this. Add 1 more value to the enum and name it number of weekdays. Since enum items are given values starting at 0, number of weekdays will have the value 7, which is exactly the number of days we want. Now, when I add 1 to Saturday, I mod by number of weekdays. And my math wraps around to Sunday. And we can do this with any number, not just 1. Today is Saturday. Want to know what day of the week it'll be 100 days from now? Boom! That was easy. Wait, can we do that in the other direction? If our day becomes negative, and then we mod by 7, will it wrap correctly? Let's try. So if I make day be Sunday, and subtract 1, and mod by 7, I hope I get Saturday, which has a value of 6. No, I got Wednesday? 3? So 1 mod 7 is 3? That doesn't make sense. Let's print out prior day wrapped and 1 mod 7. Prior day wrapped is 3, but the crazy thing is -1 mod 7 is -1. I need to do a whole video on modulus with negative numbers. But that aside, why does prior day wrapped become 3 if 1 mod 7 is -1? Let's store the interim calculations to see where things go weird. So prior day is the day before without the mod. Sea Lion grayed it out because I'm not using it, but we can still see it in the debugger. Look at that. It's interpreting prior day as if it is an unsigned int. That number, mod 7, is 3. So when we did the subtraction, we got a negative number. However, because it is an enum, it's being interpreted as an unsigned int. So it's really big. Bottom line, variables that are enums can't hold negative numbers. There's one more trick that I'd like to show you. Since the values given to items in an enum are sequential and start at 0, we can use them to index an array. In this example, I've declared an enum for the direction you could move in a simple game and tagged on one more value so I know how many are there for good measure. I've declared facing to hold the direction that you're currently facing in the game, and current x to hold the current x value of your position on a 2D map. Yes, if this was real, there'd be current y too, keeping it simple just to make my point. So I want to calculate what happens when you take one step in the direction that you're facing. How does that change your current x? Well, look at this array, change in x. It has 4 values, which correspond to the 4 values in our enum. North has a value of 0, so if I indexed change in x by north, it would look in this position. When you're moving north, your x value doesn't change. However, if the direction was east, then using it to index change in x would give you a value of 1. If you move east, your x position changes by 1, increases by 1. So I can use this statement to calculate my new position no matter which direction I'm facing. Pretty cool. Enums can be pretty powerful if you use them carefully. Stay away from negative numbers and use mod to keep your values in the ones the enum contains. Thanks, and don't forget to subscribe.